Good afternoon, students. One of the things that I'd like to talk with you today about is one of the things dearest to my heart, and that is play. Your chapter talks specifically about play, the different stages, the different types, what kinds of play you'll see in young children. It's very important. I taught in elementary school for 4 years, grades 4, grades 3, grades 5. And when I moved to Pennsylvania, I couldn't find a job in elementary teaching, so I got a position with Head Start. I worked there for 7 years, and it was very evident on the first day that I started that I didn't know what the heck I was doing, because elementary age children and preschoolers are vastly different in how they learn. I had a great assistant teacher who really helped me get situated in the new environment and what it meant for young children to learn in the 3, 4, 5-year-old category. It was through play, and I noticed right away how involved they were, as long as the things were set up in the classroom that were great for play, especially dramatic play and blocks. You can't ever go wrong with giving children blocks for play. I had little understanding until I started with preschoolers about what play was. Why do they have this inner motivation? I honestly believe from the time they're born, they have this drive to explore, to learn about their world. And young children will use all 5 of their senses when they play. And all of those senses, perceptions, are how learning takes place. And they learn using their perceptions through physical movement and play. And it's the major activity through which young children learn. It's also a natural biological function. It's joyful, it's pleasurable, and as long as children get to choose their play and follow their interests, that's where you will see the learning taking place. In our lab school, children are given up to 1 full hour for choice time, and that is kind of a rule of thumb for every preschool. Every pre-K should be doing that and following those guidelines. The other thing is they need that outdoor time of an hour for freely chosen play with exercise. You just can't go wrong on that. And you can really make a difference if you allow children to explore nature, the outdoors. All right, your chapter has a wonderful section on dramatic play, so be sure to read it, and I know one of your assignments addresses that topic. They say that, and it is true, that it is in dramatic play that helps children develop the highest form of learning. And it's a gradual process, but whenever you hear a child say, "Let's pretend," they are in that highest form of play. So what do they learn from the highest form of play if it is supposed to be so cognitively good for children? Well, think about it. They want to play dramatic play. They have to choose a role. Okay, am I going to be a mommy, a daddy, a baby? What am I going to be? So they have to decide. But what if another child wants the same thing? Well, in order to stay in that play, those children have to problem solve, work it out. And depending on how bad they want to stay in that play, they'll negotiate. They'll end up figuring out what to do so they can both do it, or else they'll learn to, okay, when you're done, then I'll do it. So there's lots of forms of learning going on with dramatic play. Now, where do children with special needs fit in here? Many, many children with special needs, especially children with autism, will not know how to play. I have a grandson with autism. He's 9. You won't see him playing with others that typically play a certain way. In other words, he couldn't go into a dramatic play situation and be able to say, Daddy, I play Mommy. You don't see him doing that. And I don't know that he ever will, but he's very brilliant and he's very smart and creative when he's playing by himself. So, children with special needs often are going to need help. It's good for them to be in play. They need to know how to enter the play. If you see a child watching and really interested, then the teacher needs to take on the role there and assist them, guide them into a play situation. Maybe they just need to watch for a while. But they must be given these opportunities in an inclusive setting with typically developing peers. And I hope you've gotten the idea and understand what typical and atypical is. It's important to know. Digital media was also mentioned, and boy, haven't we been able to see the use of digital media during the pandemic. It's a part of their lives. Whether you believe it's good or not, it's here to stay. And teachers must have the knowledge to know how to use it. An example is the pre-K lab school. They have a new smart board they've had there for a year. The children are allowed to interact with it. There's also a tablet where children can find out all kinds of information according to their interests. You won't see children sitting and playing games with the tablets. Our philosophy is they do enough of that at home, and they need their pre-K time to pursue active interests with other children. All right, I think that sums the basic things about this chapter up, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much.